The Florida Everglades is one of the most biologically diverse places in the world. This subtropical wetland covers over 1.5 million acres and is made up of a unique blend of fresh and saltwater habitats, allowing a wide range of species to thrive here. This makes it one of the most important ecological regions in North America. However, due to human activity, an apex predator has claimed this landscape for itself. The Burmese python, originally hailing from the wetlands of Southeast Asia, has firmly established itself here since the 1990s. This is due to both the intentional release of pets and unintentional releases from hurricanes destroying zoos and python breeding facilities. With none of their natural predators and native wildlife having no defense against a 15-foot ambush predator, they have decimated small animal populations across Florida. A 2012 study found that raccoon populations declined by 99.3%, possums by 98.9%, and bobcats by 87.5% since 1997. And species like marsh rabbits, cottontail rabbits, and foxes have almost entirely disappeared from some areas. The situation has become so severe that the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and the South Florida Water Management District launched a python elimination program, hiring contractors to humanely remove invasive pythons and even hosting the annual Florida Python Challenge, where hunters compete to capture the most and largest individuals. While these efforts have raised awareness and helped slow the spread, experts agree this is not a complete solution, and that complete eradication is likely impossible. But today, I want to explore a thought experiment. Using real-world genetic engineering and a touch of science fiction, can we design a hybrid animal capable of eradicating the Burmese python population in Florida? This is the Synthetic Savior Initiative, where I take real-world ecological problems and explore whether a hybrid organism could solve them without causing further damage. A quick disclaimer before we get started. While I will take real-world genetics into account and aim for as much biological consistency as possible, the level of genetic engineering and hybridization explored in this video is beyond what modern science can currently achieve. But, for the sake of this thought experiment, we will be taking more of a Jurassic World approach to the level of genetic engineering that we have available. With that out of the way, we can now lay out exactly what we need this hybrid to do. The primary goal is to design a creature that can efficiently track down and hunt Burmese pythons, ultimately driving the population towards eradication in Florida. But just as important, this hybrid must avoid negatively impacting native species or becoming an even greater ecological problem. So, what kind of animal could serve as the base to fill this role? When looking at potential body plans, 3 stood out immediately: a feline build, crocodilian build, and an avian build. Felines, like jaguars and leopards, are well documented hunting large snakes. They are highly adaptable, effective across a wide range of environments, and due to their hunting prowess, would make a formidable base for our hybrid. Crocodilians inhabit the same semi-aquatic habitats as Burmese pythons, and are also effective at killing them with a crushing bite. While there are cases of pythons killing crocodilians, this usually involves much smaller individuals, and in most matchups, an alligator or crocodile would come out on top thanks to their powerful jaws. An avian build would also be interesting. Some of the biggest predators of young pythons are birds of prey and herons. Their high vantage point and excellent eyesight allow them to spot exposed pythons and strike with their talons and beaks. However, each of these has their own problems. Large felines, while capable of hunting adult pythons, may struggle to locate younger individuals and would not be very effective at tracking pythons hidden in the murky waters of the Everglades. Crocodilians, while much better equipped to track pythons in aquatic environments, struggle to follow them into tight spaces like hollow logs or dense vegetation, and cannot pursue them into trees, which pythons are very capable of climbing. Birds suffer from a similar limitation, being restricted in how effectively they can pursue prey. They are most effective in open areas and would struggle to target pythons hidden underwater, inside debris, or in deep vegetation. Additionally, the largest pythons would be far too dangerous for most birds to take on. But the biggest problem all 3 of these face is that they are simply too good at hunting a wide range of prey. These are all generalist predators, meaning if we use any of them as a base, it would be much more difficult to design a creature that exclusively targets pythons rather than native fish, small mammals, and other reptiles. So, as I'm sure you can tell by the thumbnail of the video, I ultimately decided not to go in any of these directions. Instead, the perfect base for our hybrid takes the form of another snake. And not just any snake, but one from the Burmese python's native range in Southeast Asia. The king of snakes itself, Ophiophagus hanna, the king cobra. This large venomous snake is famous for being one of the most efficient snake hunters on the planet, And more importantly, it is an obligate snake eater, meaning in the wild, it almost exclusively hunts other snakes. While it is capable of eating other animals like lizards, it is highly specialized for snake predation and rarely targets anything else. Its venom is also uniquely suited for this role, being a powerful neurotoxin that rapidly shuts down the nervous system. Even in large snakes, this venom can cause paralysis and respiratory failure, allowing the cobra to safely subdue dangerous prey before it can effectively fight back. Crucially, it inhabits the same environments as Burmese pythons in their native range, and has been documented preying on them. This means our hybrid will already be well equipped not only to hunt Burmese pythons, but also to navigate the same environments they occupy. King cobras are fast on land and in water, and can access many of the same spaces as a python. This gives our hybrid the mobility, instincts, and behavioral foundation needed to specialize in hunting snakes. However, we needed to do more than just target snakes. It needs to specifically target pythons. Otherwise, we risk it harming Florida's native snake populations. Luckily, using genetic engineering to refine the king cobra's sensory systems and behavior, we can push the specialization even further, tuning it to recognize and prioritize its intended target. Snakes rely heavily on what is known as their Jacobson's organ to interpret chemical cues in their environment. When a snake flicks its tongue, it collects microscopic particles and delivers them to this organ, where specialized receptor proteins bind to specific chemical compounds. These receptors are encoded by families of genes that determine what scents an animal can detect and how strongly it responds to them. Using tools like CRISPR gene editing, we could theoretically modify these receptor genes to increase sensitivity to very specific chemical signatures. In this case, we would target the distinctive lipid and chemical profiles found in the skin of Burmese pythons and closely related invasive species like boa constrictors. At the same time, we could reduce sensitivity to receptors that respond to other prey types. This creates what is effectively a prey-specific bias in the chemosensory system. The hybrid would still be capable of sensing its environment, but its strongest behavioral response, its prey drive, would be heavily tied to those python-derived chemical cues. We can take this a step further by linking those sensory inputs directly to neural pathways that control feeding behavior. Through gene regulation and selective expression during development, the presence of python-specific chemical cues could be tied to reward and predation circuits in the brain, strongly biasing the hybrid towards hunting pythons above all else. With our base established and a hybrid that will only hunt the target, the next priority is making the species more capable of hunting and consuming the largest Burmese pythons, as well as being better equipped to traverse the Everglades. While king cobras are already effective at moving through wetlands, there are several ways we can enhance them to be more adept at hunting underwater and in climbing trees in pursuit of prey. The next genome comes from another snake native to Southeast Asia, the longest living snake in the world, Python reticulatus, the reticulated python. While king cobras can reach lengths of up to 4 meters or around 13 feet, this still makes them too small to reliably hunt and consume the largest Burmese pythons, which can exceed 5 meters or nearly 20 feet. The reticulated python, which commonly reaches 6 meters and in extreme cases over 10 meters or just over 30 feet, provides the size and physicality needed for our hybrid to take down and consume even the largest individuals. In addition to size, reticulated pythons are exceptional in both water and trees. They are powerful swimmers capable of remaining submerged for up to 30 minutes and highly skilled climbers, regularly ascending dozens of feet into dense jungle canopy. Integrating these traits ensures our hybrid can pursue pythons across the full range of environments they occupy. Finally, by incorporating their muscular build and distinctive hooked teeth, our hybrid gains the ability to latch on to a struggling python during a strike, maintaining its grip while delivering large doses of fast-acting venom. Next, we need a species that will help acclimate our hybrid to the Everglades climate and habitats. For this, we turn to a native apex predator, Alligator mississippiensis, the American alligator. The Everglades is a complex environment dominated by murky water, dense vegetation, and low visibility, so enhancing our hybrid sensory capabilities is critical. Alligators possess a tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer behind the retina that significantly improves night vision, along with a high density of rod cells that allow them to see effectively in low light conditions. This ensures our hybrid can hunt both day and night in the dim, obscured conditions of the swamp. They also have a nictitating membrane, essentially a transparent third eyelid, which acts like a built-in goggle. This allows the animal to maintain vision while submerged, crucial adaptation for tracking prey underwater. Beyond vision, alligators are equipped with specialized pressure receptors located along the jaws and body that can detect even the slightest movement or vibration in the water. By integrating these, our hybrid gains the ability to sense nearby movement even when visibility is near zero, making it extremely effective at locating hidden or submerged pythons. Finally, we enhance its respiratory efficiency by incorporating the alligator's ability to manage extended periods underwater. With increased lung capacity and improved oxygen utilization, our hybrid can remain submerged for much longer durations. While we're focusing on our hybrid senses, there is one more critical genome we can add to enhance this, as well as improving our hybrid's defenses. For this, we turn to Varanus komodoensis, the Komodo dragon. Komodo dragons possess an incredibly advanced olfactory system, capable of detecting scents from up to 6 miles away. Like snakes, they use a forked tongue in combination with a highly developed vomeronasal organ, but their sensitivity and range are among the best of any terrestrial predator. Integrating this into our hybrid dramatically increases its ability to track pythons over long distances, even when visual or aquatic cues are limited. In terms of defense, Komodo dragons offer a major advantage over something like an alligator. While alligators rely on rigid, heavy osteoderms for protection, this type of armor would restrict flexibility, especially for a long serpentine body that needs to coil, climb, and swim efficiently. Komodo dragons, on the other hand, have a form of dermal armor made up of small embedded osteoderms within flexible skin. This provides protection against bites and abrasions while still allowing a full range of motion. For our hybrid, this is far more useful. It gains durability during struggles with large pythons without sacrificing the mobility needed to grapple, constrict, and maneuver through tight spaces or dense vegetation. Finally, Komodo dragons are known for their strong immune systems, shaped by a lifestyle that involves frequent exposure to bacteria from prey in their environment. By incorporating this trait, our hybrid becomes far more resistant to infection, an important factor when operating in the bacteria-rich waters of the Everglades. At this point, we have a species that would be incredibly efficient at tracking down and killing Burmese pythons. However, there are still a few major concerns we need to solve. The first is how quickly the species could actually eradicate the python population. Burmese pythons reproduce rapidly, laying clutches of up to 100 eggs at a time. With our hybrid's current reptilian genome, like most snakes, it likely would not need to eat very often. That means the pythons could reproduce fast enough to avoid complete eradication. The second issue is human safety. While eliminating Burmese pythons would benefit the ecosystem, this hybrid in its current form would likely be highly aggressive and defensive. It would not hunt humans, but it would still be very prone to bite in self-defense, due to the naturally defensive nature of both king cobras and large pythons. And considering a king cobra's venom, which is potent enough to kill an elephant, and the hybrid's larger size, which could deliver even greater volumes of venom, human casualties would be likely. So, the final two genomes of this hybrid will address these problems. First, to reduce aggression, we integrate Drymarchon cooperi, the eastern indigo snake. Eastern indigo snakes are unusually calm and docile, rarely showing aggression towards humans and typically avoiding confrontation. Incorporating these traits significantly reduces the likelihood of defensive bites, making our hybrid far safer despite its size and capabilities. Importantly, eastern indigo snakes are also active hunters of other snakes, reinforcing the predatory specialization we have already built into our hybrid. This helps maintain its focus on snake prey without introducing unwanted behavioral shifts. Additionally, they are known to prey on snake eggs, giving our hybrid the instinct and ability to locate and consume Burmese python nest. By targeting not just adults, but also the next generation, we can drastically accelerate the collapse of the python population. Finally, we need to solve the reproduction problem. Even with our hybrid's hunting efficiency, rapid python reproduction could still allow the invasive populations to persist. To address this, we turn to Furcifer labordi, or the Labord's chameleon. Labord's chameleons grow at the fastest rate of any tetrapod vertebrate, gaining roughly 4% of their body mass per day. They reach sexual maturity just 60 days after hatching and live only about 5 months, allowing for extremely rapid population turnover. By integrating these traits, we can engineer our hybrid to grow quickly and reach reproductive maturity at a speed that outmatches Burmese python reproduction. And as a bonus, this accelerated growth comes with a high feeding requirement. Our hybrid will need to hunt frequently to fuel its rapid development, actively seeking adult pythons and eggs almost constantly. This ensures it targets both current adults and the next generation, effectively cutting off the python population before it can recover. To finish off the hybrid, there is one more adjustment we can tweak in its genome in order to make absolutely certain that the hybrid cannot survive without its target prey. By once again utilizing CRISPR technology, we can modify gene regulatory networks so that key reproductive pathways and essential metabolic genes are activated only in response to python-derived lipids. Female hybrids would only become capable of reproduction after consuming a threshold amount of these lipids, and their overall growth, energy metabolism, and health would all be partially dependent on these nutrients. If Burmese pythons become scarce, the hybrid cannot reproduce or maintain full health, preventing overpopulation and ensuring it cannot switch to preying on native species. By combining this accelerated growth and prey-dependent metabolic control with the previous genomes, we create a hybrid biologically optimized for short-term intensive eradication. Its population is inherently self-limiting. Once the python population is gone, the hybrid naturally goes extinct, preventing unintended ecological consequences and leaving only a fully restored Everglades ecosystem behind. And with that, we have created the ultimate tool to eradicate the Florida Burmese Python invasion once and for all. Pythonovrax Imperator, the Emperor Devourer of Pythons. Its nickname, Ouroboros, comes from the ancient symbol of a snake eating its own tail, representing cycles of destruction and renewal. In this case, it perfectly reflects the hybrid's design. Once it eradicates the Burmese python population, it will be unable to sustain itself and will naturally disappear, completing its own cycle of existence. As an adult, this species reaches lengths of 6 to 8 meters, with an elongated muscular body and an exceptionally powerful midsection adapted for grappling, constricting, and climbing, and its long, slightly flattened tail enhances swimming through the flooded wetlands of the Everglades. The head is cobra-shaped, built to house large venom glands, with forward-facing eyes equipped for low light and underwater vision. A long, highly forked tongue enhances chemical tracking, while a combination of venomous fangs and hooked teeth ensures a secure and lethal bite. And pressure sensors along the jaw detect even the slightest movement in water or mud. Its body is covered in flexible scales reinforced with tough dermal armor along the back for protection during struggles. Pythonovrax Imperator is adapted for nearly every environment in the Everglades. It moves seamlessly across land, water, and vertical surfaces. It can anchor portions of its body while extending its head and midsection like a cobra, delivering precise venomous strikes at any angle. A population of 100 individuals were strategically placed across the Everglades, targeting the areas where Burmese pythons were most concentrated. Each life stage of the hybrid played a critical role. Juveniles, fueled by their rapid growth, hunted smaller pythons and raided nests, consuming eggs before they could hatch. Subadults tackled medium-sized snakes using their speed, venom, and strength to overpower their prey, and adults focused on the largest and most dangerous pythons. Thanks to their prey-specific hunting adaptations and lipid-dependent behavior, these hybrids targeted only Burmese pythons, leaving native snakes, mammals, and birds completely unharmed. Their advanced sensory systems allow them to detect hidden pythons under logs, submerged in water, or coiled high in trees. Within a decade, Pythonovrax Imperator had completely eradicated the Burmese python population from the Everglades. And once the python population collapsed, the hybrids could no longer sustain themselves, and within a single generation, they naturally died off. Ouroboros had completed its mission. Perfectly engineered apex predator trying to eliminate a single invasive species, and to then vanish without a trace once its task was complete. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. And let me know down below if you enjoyed this concept for a series and would like to see more, and if so, what ecological problems you would like to see me try to solve next by creating hybrid animals. Also, part of the inspiration for this series comes from a book series I read as a kid called Killer Species by Michael Spradlin. Without giving too much away, the antagonist for the series is a brilliant but deranged scientist who creates genetically engineered super predators to wipe out invasive species in Florida. So, if that interests you, you should definitely check it out. I'll link it in the description below. And if you use the link to my bookstore to buy the ebooks, I'll also get a small portion of the money, so it will help support me as well. Anyways, once again, thank you everyone for watching, and a special thank you to my members for making this channel possible. Until next time, stay curious, and I'll see you all in the next video.